Hello, my name is Joe Vasta, and today we're going to talk about Euler's number E. E happens to be an irrational number, which means you cannot write it exactly as a fraction, and it just goes. It might remind you of pi being 3.14159. This is 2.718281828. So it looks like it's going to repeat, but then it just kind of goes like this: 4, 5, 9, 0, etc. So that is E. Some books will define E using a limit. So if you have not taken calculus, this is going to look a little Greek. I would encourage you to continue to watch this video because we're going to look at E poetry. So there's how some people might define E. You take the expression 1 plus 1 over x raised to the x power. You take the limit as x goes to infinity, which you just make those x's become really, really big numbers. That will get closer and closer to E. And this is used in finance and biology, so it's not just a mathy thing. Our next formula that has E in it is really when E is written as the base of an exponential function. And this right here is the derivative. The derivative of E to the x is E to the x. It's the only function where the derivative is itself, and the derivative represents rate of change, the slope function. So that's kind of unique. And the last formula that I'm going to give you is if you have E raised to the I times x power, where I is the square root of -1, this gives you something that has sines and cosines. And when you're solving differential equations, and this pops up in your answer, we use this Euler formula, and it gives us something that has sines and cosines, which means our solution is going to have some oscillations in it. And oscillations happen a lot in the real world. So you might go, oh, well, there's an imaginary number there, but imaginary numbers are as real numbers. They get us lots of concrete things. So E is found in calculus, differential equations, probability, statistics, combinatorics, finance, biology, mechanics, electromagnetism, and so on. Today what I'm going to do is E poetry or eatry. So let's go to our first E poem. It's this one right here. To disrupt a playroom is commonly a practice of children. Okay, so it doesn't sound very poetic, doesn't look like it rhymes, but it's still E poetry because this right here helps us memorize 10 digits of E, the first 10 digits. So how does that work? Well, there are 2 letters in the word to. There are 7 letters in the word disrupt. You can count them. 1 letter in the word A, 8 letters in the word playroom, and so on. And so if you remember this little poem here, it gives you 10 digits of E. Who came up with this one? I don't know. Let's go ahead and look at our next E poem. It enables a numbskull to memorize a quantity of numerals. Wow. Okay. You can see, you can count the letters and it gives you E. Also notice, I didn't say this on the last one, that period does not count as a letter. Okay, so the period's just there to make the English instructors happy, but there are 8 letters in the word numeral. Okay, we don't count the period. Okay, well, now some E poetry that I came up with. So I work at a college and sometimes have to go to very boring meetings, and so sometimes I'll do creative stuff like the following. So here it is. So 10 digits. To impress a fraction of students, I remember to numerate this short statement connecting some words to the decay and growth discussion. Okay, so the first thing we want to realize about this is there are places in the expansion of E where there's zeros that pop up. So the way I deal with zeros is I come up with a word that has 10 letters. And so when I do that, it solves any problems. There's other people who do some other awkward stuff, but not me. So like connecting has 10 letters, discussion has 10 letters, growth has 6, and has 3. So there it is. Now think about this. When I set out to write this E poem, I did not know exactly where it was going to go. Okay, and so know that because I am going to continue this. You know, like if you're writing a poem to your girlfriend or boyfriend, you pretty much know kind of how that is going to go. But this, the number E, kind of dictates sort of where I go. And maybe it's because I don't have a lot of creativity and I don't know that many words. So we're going to continue. If calculus creates fear, causing a big child to simply freeze up, then obviously college faculty could attempt to show greater discipline involving the coffee addiction. So once again, another reminder, addiction has 9 letters. We don't count the period. And like up, we don't count that comma there. We just count UP, 2 letters. Okay, but there's more. Logically realizing their beverages alter actions, some lecturers should surely terminate coffee binging before it reduces dignity of math professors without coffee issues and addictions. And I just couldn't resist. At the end of this one, I saw a 3 and a 5, which comes after this 0 here. So I had to put my name. So how many digits of E does this give us? 75. So I hope you enjoyed this video.